did go through all the games.
I'm going to go back through the video. It was good to be right.
I was right a lot this year, so
You was doing great.
The game plays right here.
Are you ready for some football?
Your sports leader, WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, and WCSL Cherville Gastonia.
only do things incredible can. Cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me. Cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do. When you wanna be me instead of you. Cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
And good afternoon, everybody. And my video is paused there. But anyway, for folks listening there online, it's not paused. But good afternoon, everybody. Kevin Hastings along with Tanner Halbert, Hunter Yancey in the house for Shock Joxx Season 2, Episode 10. Today, we're going to be reviewing, talking about, dissecting everything Super Bowl related, maybe a couple other fun things to get to. Hunter and myself. I'm going to do it all day. I've called him Hunter 72 times this afternoon, by the way.
Tanner.
And you're not even
You screwed
here.
everything up. You being right here, you have got him completely messed up. I'm not in my spot, so I'm whacked out.
Maybe what I need to do
It's
is
his own fault, though.
I need to figure out a way. What I'm going to start doing, Hunter, is I need to figure out a way to move his. I'm going to put the mouse over there, and then he can just operate.
That way, when you look to your
I'll look
right,
at you,
it's me.
I can see you,
and you're not looking at
Yeah.
him saying Hunter.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
For the past hour, I've done it. I've called him Hunter more than I've called him Tanner. It's not even
I
close.
guess he just wants my name to be Hunter now.
It's the alliteration.
Look at him.
Ner,
Look at him.
ner.
And call him intern. I got the fix
I was
for
thinking
you.
about Halbert and Yancey.
Either that or just call him intern.
Intern. Listen here, intern. Thou shalt clean the toilets.
No, I don't think he's doing that.
No.
Even if I was an intern, I wouldn't be doing all that either. No.
What am I, a janitor?
Well, first of all, who do you think cleans the toilets around here?
You.
Right.
Yes.
So you're below my pay grade.
Andre said,
And Austin. Whoa. Did I not just tell you to go watch TV? By the way, that's the same age Michael Jackson was when he started singing for the Jackson 5.
What happened to kids?
Obviously, I'm a terrible parent. I'm a terrible parent because he's not a superstar, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's how you have to look at that.
Well, do you know the Jackson family story about his dad and everything beating him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Tanner didn't. Let's say maybe I hadn't beat him enough.
Oh God.
Well, I mean that's the one thing he did that I haven't done. So I mean,
They've turned and 2 out of really the 5 turned into superstars.
yes, 2 did.
Janet and Michael.
Right. The rest of them were about on the
And
low
Janet
end of
definitely
everything.
became a superstar in 202003.
She was a superstar before that.
I know.
Um,
But for a lot of young kids watching
you know,
that game,
there was a
she was the.
there was a lot of polls and tweets and everything yesterday about the best halftime shows, and and a lot of them weren't mentioning
Janet
and I'm
and
like,
Justin.
how could you possibly have that discussion and that not be
Mentioned
in top 3, whatever it is, just because, hey, did any other shows pop a titty out on
Exactly.
TV?
That's
What
what
are we
I'm
talking
saying.
about?
No. Well, they call it wardrobe malfunction, but really, JT just wanted some titty.
I mean, Justin Timberlake pulled Janet Jackson's titty out on national television or world television. And
World television.
And some people
yeah.
have the audacity to rank any other one above that. Like, what do you got? Like,
I mean,
anyway.
you could always also look at it and say, if you don't put the first ever Super Bowl halftime show on there, then you're kind of missing out, because that was Michael. Michael did the first ever halftime
the
show.
Pepsi one.
Yeah.
And his obviously was outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
It was I think it was one of the Cowboys one.
That was
get you in studio mode, Tanner. Hey, go ahead and hit start recording for me too. I think it was the first Cowboys one. Maybe was when Michael, or it might have been even Bills Giants. I'm trying to think. But that was a good show, and we were about to get into some of the songs. Obviously, I thought I liked some of the weekend stuff. I thought the show was garbage.
I thought there were moments of the show that were good, but the weird thing in the hallway.
As soon as someone explains to me the first
10 seconds or whatever that was.
Yeah, explain that to me. Like, for real. Like, explain that to me in a why. Just tell me why, who designed it, and why. Like, you just like people do these things for a reason, right? Like my wife, and that's what she was saying. She's like, who comes up with that? And then who says like, oh, that's a great idea. Let's do that.
Right.
Because, you know, she grew up doing dance, and then my daughter's in dance. So everything is planned and staged for a reason.
And most of the time they have meanings behind them.
So
yeah.
last night to end the show, I doubt we can bring it up and show it. It'll probably get flagged. We got copyrighted on the Patrick Mahomes option tackle the other day. Where we showed the option for it was like 10 seconds on it.
Jesus.
So I'm not going to show this one.
Just stupid.
But so if I describe this to a normal person, let's say, so a person with their arms spread out glowing in a white robe, looking like, let's say for the best part, Jesus, floating in the air, but he has red eyes. And he falls into the ground and disappears, and 100 other red-eyed, let's call them demons, are behind him. I just want an explanation. That's what I saw. I want to know what it was.
Right.
That's all I ask. And then everybody was, of course, making fun of the dancers saying they were wearing jock straps.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty funny. But I just want an explanation of whoever put it there, whatever, the first 30 seconds of that show.
For the guys that were dancing, and it was bandages on their face, yeah. But in one of the weekend's music videos, that's him.
Okay.
He's got a bandaged face, and I think it's the song that they were dancing to.
Okay.
And then the person playing the guitar next to him, the acoustic guitar that one time that was in the Silver Mask, that was also from one of his music videos that he did as well. So I feel like a lot of those were supposed to be like kind of little nods at his music videos that he's done recently.
Yeah, I get it.
Now I'll sit here and tell you the first part. I have no idea what that was. I don't.
What does that relate to? What does it got to do with? Does it have anything to do with his music? Does it have to do with anything? Like, who's in charge of that particular setup?
Right.
Like, if I said, Hunter, I want you to design me a play in which you show the fall of Satan or the fall of Lucifer, written how it is in the Bible or the Sumerian text, that's what you would show me.
Probably. Something similar.
I mean, I don't mean to go there. I know this is sports, but I'm just saying, like, that was just, like, if that's what I was asking you to do, that's what you would have done.
You'd be very close.
It's weird. It's really weird. Extremely weird.
But I liked.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not upset about it. I'm just saying.
I know a lot of people, obviously older, that thought it was probably one of the worst and dumbest halftime shows they've ever seen. You know, they say it almost every year now if it's with the music that they have playing right during the halftime show.
See, I didn't mind the weekend because
I didn't mind it because he can sing.
He can sing. He obviously can't do it well live.
No, I think he was doing too much.
And people need to keep. This is the whole Michael Jordan conversation of sports about how you need to keep that name out of your mouth when you're talking about things.
Mm-hmm.
You need to keep Michael Jackson's name out of your mouth when you're talking about entertainers. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's our generation's Michael," and I'm like,
Right.
"Well, if that's the case, your generation sucks." But he's not Michael Jackson.
Now his voice is
no.
very good.
He can sing very. I agree.
My
He can
mom
sing very
closed
good.
her eyes a few times and said there are moments where she can hear Michael.
But I just showed you a 10-year-old singing like that, didn't I?
He's not Michael. He's nothing close to
But
Michael.
he's good. He definitely can't dance like you
No,
do.
no.
And the thing about Michael,
Today, if you wanted to make Michael Jackson today, you would have to put Chris Brown's dancing ability with The Weeknd's voice, and that would be close, but still not Michael Jackson.
all right. So, well, also an issue with Michael, and the thing with Prince too is one thing people don't know is that all the music for the most part on all their albums was played and recorded by them.
Them, yeah.
Like it's not he doesn't hire a bassist or someone else to come in. Now he did have cameos in his music in some of his songs like that Eddie Van Halen obviously in a couple of his songs, but you know it's you go in the studio and people don't they say hey he's an amazing dancer. All right, let's say like if you said all right top 3 singers ever Michael's on there, top 3 dancers ever Michael's on there, and then you talk about composition of the music, and then what he did one of the smartest things he ever did was buy the Beatles music.
Yeah.
So Apple Publishing, when it came up for sale after so many years, McCartney, he had earlier asked McCartney what's the best way to make money, and he told him actual publishing the music and owning the rights to the music. So Michael went and bought all the Beatles music. So any time for 20, 25 years, anytime a Beatles song was played, Michael actually made the money from it. So like that's his /genius/rich. So you think about it. He owned the rights to the Beatles music and his music.
Millions.
It's insane. But it was a good show. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he can sing.
The thing to me, like, I wasn't quite weirded out about the first part because I really didn't look at it that way. I was just like, oh, look, they're trying to be theatric in some way. It's because that's what it is. It's a show.
some way.
It's a
But
theatric.
what way? I want to know what way.
I think a lot of people want to know way. The one thing that I was like with everybody else that was weird was the hallway. Where
Yeah,
it
that
was
was
giving me
weird.
kind of a headache watching him sway that almost GoPro left and right. But other than that, like,
Well, that got all the memes.
no, I know.
That was the most
That- yeah.
meaningful thing for me.
But other than that, I mean, I was looking around and I was singing along because I knew every single song. I was
there it is.
like music wise, I'm enjoying this. Now, I really enjoyed last year's show, Shakira and J-Lo. No, I think as a man, I feel confident in saying that.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that show last year, but
I'm trying to say this without being as weird as possible. I'm a big Shakira fan.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I like her music. I like her dancing.
I do too.
like her.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But the weekend, I thought it was fine. I don't think it deserves nearly as much hate as it gets because I think the Katy Perry one was worse.
Oh, because she went from growing up in a Christian home to now she does all that sacrificing.
Well, I really
and stuff.
don't know what she was doing bringing out that huge ass lion or tiger.
It's all
It was
Yeah, that was
it was over the top almost.
yeah.
And see, and what I did like is how when they went down on the field during his halftime show, there wasn't a whole bunch of, random shit just out there, big platforms and stuff for him to walk on. It was just the people lined up. Obviously, they were told to be 6 feet apart because that's how far apart they were.
Mm-hmm.
And they just had the glowing hands, and I just enjoyed watching it.
Shakira may be on my wife pass list.
Yeah. Nice little hall pass.
That might be number one.
Nice little hall pass.
telling
I'd
you.
have to sit there and think
Hold on
about
a
that. I'd have to think about that.
What?
Who would be on mine?
I mean, she might be number one. She can make me a taco and sing me a song afterwards.
Jesus. She'd be your sugar mama. Good Lord.
Amy said she didn't care as long as they help clean the house a little bit
Ah.
while they're there.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Oh, good. Let's see. I'm gonna look up something real quick. Halftime shows. It's you can't please everybody with a halftime show, obviously, because
No. There's too many different tastes of music, and you only got one performer.
Right. we could sit here. You're 2 years apart from each other, and y'all know and like completely different types of music. You know, I was thinking about Peyton yesterday about how he said he used to dress and music and stuff he listened to, heavy metal.
But I listen to that too.
like
but
long hair.
that'll be at the gym.
Like
later.
long hair type.
Right.
No, he was saying he was like heavier Metallica type stuff. He said he was into the death metal type stuff. But look at him.
My
now.
cousin is.
You can look right. You can look at Peyton now. You never did ever. You still can't convince me that that's how he dressed and acted. What was funny about it yesterday, I'll tell you a quick story, is I found out my sister-in-law used to be a emo band groupie.
Really?
Wasn't a groupie. She dated the lead singer of one of these bands. But
So
she was really into
more
it.
than a groupie.
But yeah. So put it this way. He wrote songs about her. And he went on like New Jersey, New York radio talking about her after they broke up in the songs he wrote about her.
Oh my.
So like I just got told this stuff yesterday. They've been married for 10 years. I had like the best like hour of questions in my life. I had so many questions. Like, how many bracelets did you used to wear?
When you talk about the amount in weight of eyeliner you would wear.
She said she wasn't really big into that. She was more like dressed like a skater chick type.
Oh, so
that
like
was her.
like a spike collar.
I didn't want to ask that.
You did want to though.
No, I did want to ask that, but I didn't ask that in front of her husband and in-law parents.
Yes.
So how do you ask that? So are you into spike collars? And your wife standing there too.
Right.
So that question did not leave my tongue. Thought about it.
That's an interesting question.
I mean, isn't that where you go when you say
That's exactly where you go.
So my question almost was, how many spiked articles of clothing did you have? That's where I was trying to.
You should have. Yeah, you should.
Because bracelets.
You can do spike bracelets. I mean, you could. Did you have shoulder pads that had spikes on them? Like,
Yeah.
Like just for like a shirt you
like
had.
the Legion of Doom.
No, not the Legion of Doom. Just like maybe little rhinestones on
Right.
it. And,
Yeah, I didn't get into all that. The name of the band was Cicada something or other, like the bugs. She said they weren't that good. But like again, their family like couldn't believe that she was dating my brother-in-law because that's the type of guy she was into.
Well,
The guy that used to
some
walk her
things
home
change.
from school had a 3-foot tall mohawk, and that's from high school.
No, I'm not into that.
But anyway, that stuff. I had a fun time yesterday listening to or asking those questions. I had so many questions, Hunter. You can only imagine. If someone tells you they're an emo band groupie, what do you?
I don't know. It's like the questions just kind of It's like they overflow to the point where it's like, well, where do I begin?
Oh yeah.
And then it's like, when do I end with the questions? Because she's gonna say one thing, and it's gonna just make me have more questions.
Yeah. I just. I got so much. I got so much. I almost have to call her and just be like, look.
We need answers still. I just found out about this.
I've got to hear the songs. I've heard one song.
Yeah.
I got to hear the one about her though. She's like, it's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
I bet it
God.
is.
I bet it is. Now, I bet it's really embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, there's even one of those, like on TV where you see where the musician will bring you out to the car, like you break up, and like, come out to my car, I'll play a song, all that stuff.
Jeez.
It's fun. All right, so it's back to the music. Here's some of the last acts in the last few years.
For the halftime show.
Right. So last year was Shakira and Jennifer Lopez, Maroon 5, Justin Timberlake, Lady Gaga, Coldplay, Katy Perry, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Madonna, the Black Eyed Peas, The Who played the 2010 Super Bowl in Miami. Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, Prince, Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney. So after Jessica Simpson and Janet Jackson and all them, P. Diddy and Justin Timberlake in Houston did their thing.
They went the old guys.
Listen, the 5 straight years after that, Paul McCartney, Stones, Prince, Tom Petty, and Bruce Springsteen.
They said, listen.
And The Who. I forgot The Who.
They was like, listen, guys. We can't let another nip slip happen.
Right.
We can't. We got to calm down for a few years, and then we'll go back wild.
I mean, isn't it better to see Janet Jackson's nipples than Keith Richards and Mick Jagger's?
Not only that, I mean, for a guy, what is it? The lead singer of Maroon 5 took his shirt off. I'd rather see
Right.
Janet Jackson's nipple than his.
You know, with all that stuff going on in the the sports where they're going to allow girls into boys and stuff now they're. I think it was Twitter. One of them said, if you identify yourself as a male, you can go topless as long as you're a girl. If you're whatever, however that works.
Right.
So just, I saw that one come across yesterday. I was like, oh god, that's gonna be fun to police. And
This is gonna get out of control. But
so Black Eyed Peas, Madonna. So really, here's what kind of I was talking about him, and we've talked about this before. Where's y'all's generation rock bands?
no, they don't. I honestly, I was going to say
Linkin
that.
Park's
in a
not even
second.
on there.
No. I don't even think Green Day was asked to do it one year, which is absurd. For God's sake, you're going to go out and get the Who and old Bruce Springsteen. Which, listen, I understand they're legends and icons in the music industry, but at the same time, like I understand Paul McCartney, but that's just Paul McCartney. That's not the full Beatles.
U2 was in 2002. Aerosmith 2001 with NSYNC. 2000 was Phil Collins, Christina Aguilera, Enrique Iglesias, Tony Braxton.
And see, I was wondering if The Weeknd was going to bring anybody out there with him.
He didn't.
'Cause,
99 was Gloria Estefan, Stevie Wonder. In 99, they got Stevie Wonder out there. His hits were in the 70s. So Boyz II Men, Salute to Motown, the one in Detroit. Blues Brothers Bash in the Louisiana Superdome. Was ZZ Top, James Brown, then Diana Ross, Patti LaBelle, Clint Black in the Georgia Dome, Travis Tritt, Tanya Tucker, and the Judds. Now, I remember that one specifically because on Media Day, so they had it in the Georgia Dome, and it was Cowboys and Bills. Well, see, it was country music, obviously, so they were playing like all those folks' songs over it. But so during Media Day, one of the songs is should have been a cowboy. And they play that song during the Bills Media Day, and I'll never forget them showing clips of the Bills answering questions, and in the background you could hear
Should have been
a cowboy, should have learned to rope and run. God, I'll never forget that. How about 91? See if you probably don't know this, and you may. Have you ever heard of New Kids on the Block?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The only reason is because of Fuller
You know the
House.
Jackson 5, so the New Kids on the Block. Name of the song.
I have no idea the song by him, but I know
I have
New
no
Kids on the
idea.
Block.
The only reason I know who they
Isn't,
are is because of Full
Hanging
House.
Tough?
Isn't one of Wahlberg's brother part of New Kids on the Block?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I can't remember which one, though. Is it Donnie?
Donnie.
Yeah.
And he. There's two of them.
Was Mark a part of him? Well, I know Mark did his solo thing for a minute.
That was first.
Okay, so that was first.
Yeah.
All right. See, I know some things, I just don't know the music.
I'll tell you let me give you the
See,
name.
I don't know the name of the song, but I know, I would know the song if I heard it.
That's me sometimes, too.
So Mark what he was yes he was, sorry. He was one of the originals, Mark Wahlberg and Jamie Kelly. Then the main ones or current ones till now, I guess. Jordan Knight, Donnie Wahlberg, Joey McIntyre, Danny Wood, and Jonathan Knight.
Joey McIntyre, I know that name, too.
So 2 Nights, Joey McIntyre.
And a Wahlberg.
Hanging Tough was their biggest one. And Step by Step was pretty good. I'm not going to say good.
Not going to say good, but, you know.
Here's one I forgot to. We're going to play, and we hadn't got to it. Did you know Tanner's father was a body? Did I tell you
For
who?
DMC.
And did you tell you the other one?
Bill Ray Cyrus.
Oh, yeah. I remember we saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy Ray Cyrus. Did your daddy got a video of him on a wrecking ball?
No. That's Miley.
That's so. That would have been hilarious. I want to Tanner. That's what we need. We're gonna rent a wrecking ball and we're gonna videotape Tanner.
No.
No, that could be your first music
Tanner,
video.
you should get into the bodyguard business. Your dad might have some good connections.
Yeah.
you might be guarding for maybe Drake or something.
Hey.
I don't know.
And a lot of these superstar ladies fall in love with their bodyguards. A lot of them. Just trying to hook you up. Like I told you, if they're in their 30s, they know who Nelly is too. Nelly and Usher.
But to go
What
back
you
to
gonna do?
that.
Get the wrecking ball and make an OnlyFans and swing?
Oh no, jeez, here we go to the OnlyFans. Anyways, back to this halftime show. I have been one in like recent years. Whenever I see who they announce is getting ready to do the halftime show, that does kind of sit there and go, well, first off, I don't see a country music artist being included. And there's definitely not a rock band being included. Some people could sit there and say, oh, well, Maroon 5. No. Maroon 5 is
It's not
like
a-
pop rock.
Put it this way. You're right. So for 80s people, Maroon 5 is Bon Jovi compared to Metallica.
Yeah,
right?
yes.
'Cause that's where we're going
Yes.
here. Maroon 5 is the Bon Jovi.
They're two completely different rocks.
Put it this way. If the ladies like it, it's not hard rock.
No.
Is that the regular ladies? I'm
Right,
saying,
yes.
I'm not talking about
there,
groupies.
there are
I'm talking
girls
about
that like hard rock.
if the
but you're
general
right.
lady public likes
Right.
it, it's Bon Jovi.
I'll say this. Now, my mom likes Linkin Park and 3 Days Grace and obviously she likes the big hair bands from the 70s and the 80s, but she does enjoy some Maroon 5. So I look at it like, well, if my mom enjoys them, I'm like, maybe they're not really rock, but you can listen to them. They got rappers on there doing songs with them as well, and just the sound of their music is more poppy than it is rock. Like when I think of rock bands, I'm thinking more hardcore electric guitar riffs
right.
and some more drum solos. Okay, that's what I'm thinking, not what Maroon 5 is doing. So you look at that list, and if someone wants to sit there and say Maroon 5 is a rock band, I'm like, well then you're on crack. Because we haven't had a pure rock band do this probably, 10, 15, maybe 20 years, if at all?
You talking about like a Coldplay was in 2006, and I've got Coldplay in the same place as I do Maroon 5.
I was about to say, that's where I, like, Viva La Vida is probably my favorite song by Coldplay, and I'm just like, that or Yellow.
Put it this way. Would you ever crank up a Coldplay song with other guys in the car?
Viva La Vida, that's it, though. That's it.
Okay.
But seriously, that
I'll
would
give
be
you
it.
one, and I don't even know if I do that, but I'm saying like,
True.
if Andre's in the passenger seat, you turn this up and say, "This is my jam."
No.
That's what I'm getting at, right?
Right.
Like, okay.
So, I mean, just then looking throughout it,
Like King
Has
Nothing
it-
comes on Metallica. You're like, okay.
okay, yeah. I was looking through it, then I don't think we've had a true rock band.
The Who, that stretch of the old people was the
Yeah,
only
but-
time, and that was past
That
their
was-
prime type people.
Yeah, that was past their prime. They
Now-
did have Aerosmith.
That's still past prime. Any of them that are 40 and older when they perform.
It's past prime. It's basically a reunion tour.
So I'm gonna give you this one, but it's kind of a mixture about Kid Rock in the middle of that P Diddy stuff. Like he plays everything. He's country, he's rap, he's rock, he's everything.
Kid Rock is gumbo. He's
I
just
mean,
a mixture of everything.
he's originally a rapper.
And he's from Detroit.
Yeah, he's originally a rapper, and then moved into rap rock, and then
Well, that's the difference from
Then he got into some country.
that's the difference from like him and Post Malone. Post Malone started in rock. That's where he got his roots from, and then transitioned to rap and hip hop. But seriously, like, because I think we had this conversation the other day. It was like, is there even a rock band today that they would invite to come and do this? Probably not, because they keep
Is there a
pulling
big
from
name? Yeah, is there a big name?
Right, they keep pulling from like top 50 or top 50 charts, top
Stripes?
100 charts. No, nobody that's my age is listening to that. Because you got to remember,
They
they
ain't
do
coming
have.
out with Seven Nation Army.
They could come as a feature because I would lose my shit if they came out with Seven Nation Army. But the only one I could sit here and think of that most everybody would know is you put Imagine Dragons up there and let Imagine Dragons have a halftime show. But
Oh,
other than
that'd be a
that,
pretty decent show.
I think they would do a good show.
No Doubt was in 2003. That's the girl lead singer, Gwen Stefani. U2 was 2002.
And that's you too.
Again, that's in that group of.
It's like, what are we gonna call it? Soft rock?
That's the word I was trying to. I was going.
Are you trying to avoid it?
Right.
Soft rock? Like it kind of is soft rock. Like are we talking? The problem is rock as a genre is so broad now. You've got emo rock, you've got alternative rock, you've got hardcore rock. I guess we can call it soft rock. Whatever you want to call it. Either southern rock. I mean, it's all over the place. So I don't know, but to me it just seems like the Super Bowl halftime shows are pandering to whoever is a part of like the top 5 charts or like a top 5 on the top 100 chart. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be one of those people because they want younger generation to tune in and want to watch it.
So I clicked. Just there you go. This is, I don't know when this came out. Let me see. April. This is last April. 100. We're not going to do this, but 100 best rock bands of the 2000s. I didn't know there was 100. First of all,
So
they just named all 100.
I'm guessing that ends in 2010.
No, it's the 2000. It's just
all the way till now.
Yeah, I think so.
I was about to say
Because it's got post grunge 2000s.
grunge.
Because this is going all the way back to. It may be just the zeros.
That's what I'm saying.
Because a lot of these.
I'm thinking it is like when people say
Has to be.
2000s, it's usually from 2000 to like 9, and then when 10 starts, they're like the 2010s.
I'm gonna scroll down to make sure that
Now
it's-
we're into the roaring 20s again.
Yeah, this is. I think it is. It says emo in the 2000s. Ha, I've got there. This is the.
I've got there
rock bands.
the cicada on
They've
there.
got. It's got the emos ranked in the 60s.
Yeah.
It's got Metallica at 71
What?
of the 2000s.
Those are two.
Pearl
Well,
Jam at 68.
well,
Like,
Metallica.
like, where they hit-
weren't they? They're
Aerosmith
more of a 90s band.
Yeah, Aerosmith of 80. So it depends on who you ask.
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of two groups of Metallica fans. There's the 80s metal hairband, rock it out, play as hard, fast as you can. I am in the other group, the 90s group, where the 90s albums got more lyrical and more better production song-wise, as opposed to hard, fast.
Pull Metallica out for
hard, fast,
for a
loud.
Super Bowl
That'd be
halftime show.
fantastic.
Why not?
It'd be fantastic.
Why not? You know, if all I'm ever going to hear is people complaining about how bad these halftime shows are, why don't we pull out a flash from the past? Maybe one that's not going to have possible satanic emblems.
So the 2000s, Linkin Park was one, Avenged Sevenfold 2, Green Day 3.
Linkin Park was one?
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
Whoever Snow Patrol was 4.
I do.
Corn 5, Nickelback 6.
Have you ever heard their song? Okay, I'll tell you who Snow
Slipknot.
Patrol is. You ever heard the song Chasing Cars? If I lay here, if I just
I've heard Countdown.
Yeah, I've
lay
heard that.
here. That's Snow Patrol.
Oh, God, that really slow one.
The one that's at the end of
That's the theme song to Everyone's Suicide.
yeah.
Okay.
That's at the end of I think it's at the end I think they played at the end of every Grey's Anatomy or
Awful
whatever it is.
Song.
Yeah.
It's just it is an awful song. So sad. What's your best song? One that makes me want to kill myself. Blink-182, 9 was. Yeah, this is of the 2000s. I was kind of hope just since 2000, just to get an idea of
What
maybe
did you
some
say
of these
Blink
names.
182 was?
They got
Blink
'em- they got 'em
182,
at
I'd love
10.
for them to have a show.
No.
Yes.
I've
Yes.
seen them live. It's the worst thing in the history of the world. I'm telling you, like, if whatever you think that you're going to hear from them, you're going to get garbage and hot garbage at that. So I went to one of theirs and it was them and Green Day. And the way that was set up was that they rotated who the headliner was. We were lucky.
Green Day was the
Green
headliner.
Day was last that night
Okay.
because Blink-182 put on the worst damn show. Like, I've been probably 20 rock. I've been Metallica. I've been to Aerosmith. I've been to Creed. I've been to The Offspring.
Damn,
I've
I
been to-
love the Offspring.
I've been to
That's a
Puddle-
good band.
I know. I've been to Puddle of Mud. Country Garth, Conway Twitty, Alan Jackson. Like, you name them, I've been to them. Blink-182 by far put on the worst show I've ever seen in my life. And it's bad enough all their songs sound alike to begin with, right? So let's say you're going to hear 10 songs that sound almost exactly alike. Between each song,
there.
right. Between each song, Tanner, they told jokes.
The only reason I listen to Blink 182 is because their drummer.
Travis Barker.
Yeah, my brother met like his best friend that's the producer for him.
So he didn't tell jokes, but the other two did, and they were bad jokes, and it was awful. I can't explain it any other way, y'all. They would play a song, and then the two guys would sit up there and just tell corny jokes to each other. And you know they've got that weird voice anyway, so it's like, "Hi, Hunter."
Yeah,
So,
God almighty.
knock, knock, who's there? Blink-182, yeah. All the small things in my pants. I can't stand it. I'm telling you, it was the worst. Like, I've seen better shows at the carnival. Like, it's really what it was. Like, these people make millions, and they're up here doing what they're doing right now. It was just like, this is hard garbage. It's like, I can't believe I paid for this. But anyway, I didn't mean for this to be a Blink-182 bashing. I'm just warning you. Oh my God,
Listen,
it was bad.
I would like for them to do like a rotating set
Modest
for the
Mouse.
Super Bowl. Just have 3 or 4 different bands, and it just rotates.
But Godsmack.
Who the freak is Godsmack?
Huh?
Never heard them.
But are you a rock fan? You have to
He's not a
ask
rock
that
fan. He's a
first,
rap
Kev,
fan.
so he won't know
Right, he
who
won't.
Godsmack is. Murmur. He's got that. I don't know how to describe his voice.
So they got-
It's
Who Godsmack?
yeah. It's
Oh God.
It's like
It's Godsmack.
All right, let me ask you this: Do
I
you
can play it without you hearing it on
do
map for
you
Tanner.
know Tanner who Disturbed is?
No.
Disturbed would do a fantastic show. God Almighty,
Probably.
they're more into cover songs now. But even if they did their cover songs, he
Right.
would kill it. He would kill it absolutely. Who else would do a good show?
All right, well, I'm going through the
Old
list.
Rush if we had it.
Huh?
So Audio
Old Rush if we
Audio
had
Slave
it.
is on there from the 2000s. Foo Fighters. How have they not got a show yet? You know,
For
that's a
real.
really big popular band. I'm not a big fan of them, but I respect them enough to say
like
they would do a
Foo
good
Fighters more than I like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
show. Yeah.
That's me. That's my preferral.
Creed's on here. Everybody would all the people who hate Jesus would make fun of them. Papa Roach, Sum 41. Now, this is a personal favorite of mine, but it's not Godsmack. Personal favorite, mine, Hunter, and I know they would never ever in the history of the world put them on that stage. Tool.
I know a lot of people that like Tool.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. Music wise, I can make the argument they're one of the best ever as far as like laying down music. Did I tell you how they write their songs? Did I tell you about?
Yeah.
But they
Music
do
first,
music first, and
then
the
the
lead singer
lyrics.
comes in. That's nuts. That's just nuts. But yeah, you could. I mean, I could listen to almost everything. Just music, like just don't even listen to the words. It's just fantastic.
Play the I Stand. He might understand the I Stand Alone one.
I'm trying. Which one was on the Navy commercial? That's the one I was trying to pull up.
I don't remember. But if you're talking about, so he doesn't know who Godsmack is,
Right.
but he said earlier, I might not know the name of the song, but I
Right,
might
he-
recognize
yeah.
it. He would probably recognize
He'd
I
probably do
Stand
Voodoo.
Alone. I think he would know I Stand Alone more.
Well, I'll play them both. Where he, I mean, y'all.
Well, not-
It's
not-
not going out over our thing. Y'all can hear it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Who else? I
That was
mean,
my nana.
now I liked seeing 30 Seconds to Mars when I saw him because they headlined for, they opened for Linkin Park
that
when
was
I
one
went
of
and
her
saw him.
favorite bands.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah.
It's got Jared Leto, and a lot of girls like to look at Jared Leto. So,
So Weezer's on here. The Strokes, My Chemical Romance,
give me an MCR.
Limp Bizkit.
When I was a young boy,
Oh God, you know that Limp Bizkit, the lead singer's from Gastonia.
I did not know that.
You know why he left Gastonia and never claimed Gastonia and claims Florida as their hometown?
Why?
His dad was a dirty cop.
Ooh.
They had to move. He's supposed to go to Hunter Huss.
But instead, he's making millions. So, you know.
Right. You think that was the choice? Hunter Huss or millions?
Okay, now I know.
You know this?
Yeah.
I knew you. I figured you'd know this.
As soon as I heard the drums, I knew who it was.
Yeah.
I like Voodoo.
I figured.
There's
you
another
would.
one. The one that's on the Navy commercial is like one of the very first songs, and it's a Navy recruiting commercial. I'll never forget that because one of my best friends could make his voice sound just like that commercial, and
Yeah.
he would just say it, and he's like, "That's cool." Oh, shut up, Patrick. We've been listening to these all day, haven't we, Tanner?
Oh my God, shut up.
These are all the leftover Super Bowl commercials.
yeah, are they?
Yeah, those were all the ones that happened last night. Now YouTube just shows them.
Golly, what a world we're in.
I've heard this.
I didn't play like 2 seconds of that. Where's the voodoo part? Oh, that ain't voodoo? I don't know what I clicked on, but it should have been voodoo. That's Keep Away. Do you have heard that one? So you know, little Godsmacks. That's them. Jeez.
I didn't think we'd spend 40 minutes on halftime
God,
shows.
I thought we was like 15 in. Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right, Hunter, let's talk football.
No, it's fine. I've enjoyed talking about this because that's something that people look forward to every year. If it's not the game, because think about it, not every fan base has their team in the Super Bowl.
Right.
They're looking forward to two different things. They're looking forward to the Super Bowl commercials, and they're looking forward to who's going to do the halftime show.
What about the Killers?
I like the Killers.
You know who really should have got a halftime show by now was Pearl Jam.
True. Very true.
I mean,
But see, we're sitting here talking about nothing but rock artists.
Right, because they haven't played any.
When is a country artist going to get theirs?
There's no reason Garth Brooks hasn't.
They're going
Right.
to go put Little Nas X out there.
Have you heard this? Voodoo?
I think so. I don't
Yeah, I've
remember.
heard
It
it.
goes, voodoo, voodoo. That's all I said.
The closest person they're going to get to country is Little Nas X.
That's not country. Don't speak about it.
There's no reason Garth shouldn't. In fact, they in one of the Texas ones, they should have had a, one of these country melody type thing. If Garth should be by himself,
Uh-huh.
but I also wouldn't mind seeing a Alan Jackson, whatever kind of groups you kind of put together, like a 4 or 5.
Well, I would like to
rotation
see
type thing, like you
because
were
because
talking
they
about.
have a song together. I would like to see Alan Jackson and the Zach Brown band
I
together.
thought you was gonna say Tim McGraw and Nelly.
No. But I'll tell you what, I would like to see Tim McGraw stand alone for a halftime show.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with it. It's just one of those things where the halftime shows, all we ever get are a bunch of people complaining about the music when they don't realize that what they're doing, again, is just they're looking at the top 100 chart. Whoever's got multiple ones within the top 10, that's who they're gonna bring up here because they know that the younger generation is gonna tune in for it. That's it.
I'm gonna say this: I honestly hadn't watched a halftime show,
Like live.
and the only reason I did last night was because my kids happened to get out of the shower at the exact same time, and we were all kind of in the living room together and getting
Yeah.
dressed, ready to go to bed that night. I usually just go get something to eat. Honestly, the years I was in college and the year after at Super Bowl, most Super Bowl parties, I'm making bets at halftime.
Yeah.
So I haven't usually. I don't care. And then we went through the musicians. So none of them was like, "Hey, I gotta watch this."
Right. See.
All right. So we talked about the other day about how this would affect the quarterbacks. So Brady moves to 7. Mahomes is 1-1. He would have to get to 8 to
Yeah.
get past him.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I think
fine.
we focus way too much on that.
Oh, the Super
We
Bowls.
We have to say today's guy
Mm-hmm.
is better than yesterday's guy. So if it's not Pat Mahomes, the next person that wins that goes 3-0 in the Super Bowl,
Maybe
we're
that's
going to be talking about.
Mhm.
We're going to put him in the same candidacy with these other guys. And
well, you know why? It's the same thing like with how I just said with the sports. It's to keep the younger audience
Right.
interested. It
Right.
gives them somebody to watch.
Right.
That's why, like the same thing we've said about how ESPN sees, Zion is going to be our new baby to push. Like, look, it's Zion. It's Zion. The day that LeBron retires, we have somebody to carry the torch. And I think the NFL is looking for that the day that Tom Brady and Drew Brees retire and Aaron Rodgers retires. They need somebody to carry the torch.
Well,
and
see,
that's looking to be
the
like
thing about the
Patrick
NFL,
Mahomes.
I don't even think they do.
They don't.
Because
it's
always not star driven in the fact that, one thing I kind of want to talk about, point out with that, Hunter, you love your young quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
How many young first round quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl in the last 10 years?
One.
Pat Mahomes.
Mhm.
And the rest has been the old guys. And it's, the experience, it matters so much. We talk about there's no time to develop these young guys.
No, there's not.
I mean, look, think about this.
I listened to an interview with Kurt Warner the other day, and Kurt Warner said the time they give coaches and quarterbacks are the reason why we usually only have 6 to 7 good teams and the rest of them are in shambles, is because you don't give anybody time to implement their system and to develop a player. He said that's what's wrong with the NFL.
And so So let's say you're developing your team or developing your players. Well, isn't that what Tampa did the last 5 or 6 years of Jameis?
Really? Yeah, they built
We
up
got a number
around
one
him.
pick, and we're building around him. And what they end up doing is getting rid of him, bringing in an old guy, and he wins the Super Bowl in his first try. Now, this old guy's a little bit different than most, but point
I will
being,
say this.
you could waste a lot of time building. Hornets have been building their teams for 30 years.
I know. Tampa Bay, to me, they gambled and won. That's what they
Right.
did. They gambled and won because there was no guarantee that Tom was going to come to Tampa Bay because the reports were that the Chargers were also interested in him. And Tom is, he's from California, didn't know if maybe he'd want to go back home. So Tampa Bay, with them saying we're going to move off of Jameis, like, think about it. Do you think they're sitting where they are right now with the talent they have, but let's take out Gronk, Antonio Brown, and Fournette, who all signed with them after Brady
Right.
came? Do you
Right.
think they're sitting where they are now if Brady says, I'm going to the Chargers instead of Tampa Bay, and they have already moved off Jameis? Well, then who do they have? Like, it's one of those things where I look at that situation and I'm like, yeah, you just got lucky that paid off, though.
So their defense was 8th in the league this year.
Oh, yeah.
That was the biggest thing, and that nobody will ever talk about in all of this.
Their defense was even good last year. The thing was, is Jameis went 30 for 30.
So you take a good defense, you had a quarterback, you get good. That's look what Pittsburgh did this year. They were 8-8, top 5 defense. If Ben Roethlisberger comes back, I'm like, they're gonna win some games. And the Bucks defense is gonna get so little credit for what they did. And then so you look at Brady. Brady got the MVP and threw for 200 yards.
3 touchdowns. But yeah, you're right.
You could take those 3 touchdowns away, and they still win 10-9.
Because
So-
they do have a field goal and a rushing touchdown.
Right. So I told Andre, I was like, if I'm giving the MVP of that game, it's one of 2 people.
I'm giving it to Devin White.
He was my second choice. Gronk was my first. It's Gronk and Devin White, and you're 100% right on White. He controlled that game.
I think
he hustled his ass off.
I watched that
He was
game
on every
last
play.
night. I watched that game last night, and I've watched, obviously, Tampa whenever they're on television because they had a lot of primetime games with them having Tom Brady. And I watched Devin White play. In his second year, I can make an argument he might be the first or second best middle linebacker in the NFL. In his second season. Because think about it. Kuechly's not here anymore. So he doesn't necessarily have the sole control over the best middle linebacker in the game. I look around, Van Der Esch is decent, but he's not the same that he was this rookie season. Same thing with Jalen Smith, because they run, was it the 3-4 down there in Dallas? So they have the 2 Mike linebackers. They're not, like Devin White, what he does, sideline to sideline, oh God, there goes a baseball bat. He ran a 4.42 40 at his size, and you see it in game speed. Like, it translates. That's not just a sprint speed. That's
Right.
game speed for him.
he was hustling.
If they got the ball over to Tyreek Hill on a swing pass, and guess what? He got out there. Now, granted, the angle was perfect, but he had still enough speed to get there for a guy that runs almost a sub 4.3. I think he does. I think he might run a 4.29. So... that's just me, but I agree with you on if it was going to go to anybody else. I wasn't really thinking about Gronk, but I was the one that saw the pressure that the defense got on Patrick Mahomes and what Devin White was doing from sideline to sideline. I was like, I would have given the MVP to Devin White.
Well, Gronk scored the first 2 scores,
Yes.
and that would have won the game.
Yeah, that'd have been it.
Like, I don't know. There's so many different ways you can look at it to where,
Playoff Lenny showed up.
yeah, I think Gronk probably might have deserved that one. If I just, how do you give a quarterback with only 200 yards the MVP?
It's Tom.
It is, and
It's Tom
not.
Brady.
It's not. I don't know. I don't know if it's
But
right.
I'll say this, like, even though me and you can sit here and say we don't know if it's right, I don't think there's really a teammate on that team that has hard feelings over that because they got a Super Bowl out of it.
No, Gronk could probably give a rat's
Yeah, that's what I'm
ass.
saying. That's their guy. He came here, and I think that organization and the players alone know without him, there's no guarantee that we would even really be in this position. So I think they're fine with him getting the MVP. But I agree with you. I think you could have probably looked elsewhere for guys that had a bigger impact
In that game.
on that game,
Right.
which it was the defense.
And
if
now
it-
Tom
and if-
didn't throw any picks. He had high completion percentage.
And if you didn't want to give it to Devin White, you could have possibly looked at Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett was getting to the quarterback all night. That offensive line, I know that was a makeshift. They had to move guys around. I think they actually had 3 starters on the season out. One of them opted out at the beginning of the season because he's a nurse and he works in a hospital, so that's what he's doing instead. And obviously the 2 guys the tackles to injuries. But my God, I thought they, at least to be pros, would have had a better chance. Like I heard a comparison. It was early. It was the day or last night, and they were like, "What other quarterback at least gets out of the pocket and makes something happen with that amount of pressure getting through that offensive line?" Like the fact that even Mahomes was able to complete the amount of passes that he did.
So, all right. So let me break down Mahomes for you and their offense and what I think their biggest weakness, how their offense is designed.
I think they wait too long. I think they try to do too many big plays.
Right. You're in the ballpark. So their offense, to me, when watching the tape and watching them play and watching them break down, is designed to what you just said. So they've got all this speed, but they don't actually run real routes. They're more like run to an open spot,
Right.
and Mahomes is going to find you. So what's weird about it? So if you said, "I want Patrick Mahomes to take a 4-step drop and throw it," they don't do that.
No.
They,
I tweeted
they
that
almost
last
never
night.
do that.
I tweeted that last night. When I saw them go into halftime, in my mind, I was like, okay, Andy Reid, this is your opportunity to make adjustments. You know they're getting home with only 4 half the time. So here's your opportunity to start doing quick slants, screens, something to get it out of his hands fast. Did they do it? No.
So
they didn't.
When you play against wide receivers, and it's all about speed, it's a little bit different. So what I'm saying is that they need a Keyshawn Johnson.
Possession receiver.
Yes, they don't have one. It's Kelsey or bust. And
Yeah, it is Kelsey or bust, and Tyreek has got speed and hands, but Hardman has got speed, brick hands,
Right.
and Sammy Watkins has been hurt a lot in his career. So you're right, 100%. I think they take Sage Surratt.
almost all of their he would be perfect for them.
Probably.
Almost all. In fact, now that you said that, second round guys, Kansas City. If I'm Kansas City, I pick one of the running backs first, then Sage Surratt in a second.
I don't know if they're going to take a running back first if they don't look at what happened to their offensive line and
Well,
say
they
we
might need that
we
too.
might need to bolster this up a little bit.
But as far as their passing offense, so I'm just trying to put myself in Mahomes' position. So to me, you get the ball, you take 3 steps. They're looking to see immediately then if Kelsey or one of the other ones beat somebody already. And then he pump fakes, and then he moves. And then once he moves, it's whether he can get around the people and the linemen, and he moves fantastically. And he throws the ball on a run better than I would say almost about anybody that maybe he's even ever
That
played.
throw he made where it was almost a touchdown and he was
sideways
on
on
the
the
ground. I was like,
That's baseball, man. That right there, you can tell the baseball
diving
players.
throws,
Right,
yeah.
you can tell the baseball players. And Nance and them were like, oh my God, not Nance and them, Romo and them, or Nance and Romo, but Nance like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm like, yeah, if you play baseball, like every throw he makes, I'm like, yeah, that dude played shortstop or something at some point. It's not normal throws, and that's what I think is a hindrance to their offense by not having the ability to go 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna throw a comebacker, or I'm gonna throw an out route. It's 1, 2. Shit, let's run around, and it works because if they get open, it's a big play.
yeah.
But you can't. I don't think you can sustain your offense like that without a like
I think we're-
Keyshawn Johnson.
I think I'm
like you
also
said,
kind of.
get Sage.
I'll give him a lot of credit for this too. I didn't realize how substantial the toe was until they said he's planning to get off-season surgery.
I
on
bet
it.
that thing's broke. Is it the ligament or is it bone?
It's
They
turf
say.
toe.
I bet that thing's black. Then I had it in basketball. Both
It's
of my
turf toe.
big toes turned black.
And for him to be able
Now, if you're
to,
worried about stuff being straight, you need to find something better to do.
I'm just gonna say, watching him,
Find something.
I have to give him a lot of credit for what he was able to do with such little protection and the movement that he had to get off while really only on half a foot, because if you know like the makeup of the foot and the hands in general, you just don't realize how important your hands are with these thumbs, because without them we can't really properly grip things. And your big toe is basically your stabilizer. Yeah. That's what's keeping your foot balanced. So it's just for him to be playing essentially on a bad big toe, and how he moved with the pressure that was getting through that matador of an offensive line for the Chiefs, I was very impressed by it. Going forward, I agree everything with what Kevin just said, though. You got to be able to not be so reliant on the big play, because it's not always there. You've just been very lucky that teams have such a mismatch with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill that no matter what, it seems like one of them is open. But what happens when a team locks down both of them and says, you got to beat us with everybody else, and everybody else is just not up to par? Sammy Watkins has been injured all year. I don't think he got in any sort of rhythm on the season at all. So that's a tall task for him at this point in the Super Bowl. As much as I love Mecole Hardman, he's just not their strongest catching receiver. Now, he's got speed. He runs like a 4.3 something. Now, he's got speed. The problem is he's just not a guy where I can look at him and say he's going to catch everything I throw at him, because he's just not. And I do like Mecole Hardman. He's a Georgia Bulldog. I'm a Bulldogs fan, so of course I root for any dogs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire throughout the season had been injured for most of it outside of the first 2 or 3 weeks. And I think that really hurt their offense, because when it came to the Super Bowl and he's back, their best play really from the line of scrimmage was one of his rushes coming out of halftime. And so for them really to not lean more on the run game in a position where you don't have any time to throw the ball, I don't know. I realized they were kind of in a hole. They were already down by 22 at the time.
Yeah, and he was too busy trying to throw bombs.
They had to try and throw. They were essentially at the point where the only way they could come back was they had to throw the ball. Yeah. And it just didn't work.
And he was trying to throw it way too deep. He should have just done short passes and got at least some yards.
Yeah, he should have probably looked a little bit more at the intermediate game. But again, how much of that do I put on Patrick Mahomes, or do I put on Andy Reid and Bieniemy's offense, the head coach and the offensive coordinator? Because for them not to look and say, wow, Tampa Bay is getting through our offensive line with ease. We can't have these 6 to 7 step drops. We can't afford to. We're going to just let Mahomes get out here and get creamed every single time, because we can't block. We couldn't block a fly. We couldn't block a 300-pound man with 5 people in front of him. If it was 1-on-5, they couldn't block him. I'm just dead serious. That's how bad that offensive line play was last night. So I don't.
Tackles were out too, wasn't they?
Yeah, both tackles were out. One of their players, I think, they moved a guy that traditionally plays guard out to tackle, I think on the opposite side of what he usually plays. So it's just, I don't know, it's just tough. I can't really put all of this at Mahomes' feet. And that's what it's going to be tough for people in major media not to do, because we pitted this game all week leading up to it as Mahomes versus Tom Brady, and not just Chiefs versus Bucks. And we've said it, you gotta give the Bucks defense a lot of credit. But I think really a lot of this is on Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy not making adjustments, even to make it close. You know, they could have gotten beat regardless whether or not they actually made the halftime adjustments I think they needed to make. They could have gotten beat regardless, because they were down a substantial amount of points at halftime. And coming back was going to be a very tall task against that defense. I think I'm going to lay blame on this to Bieniemy and Andy Reid. And I don't know if I want to put it at Spagnola's feet either, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, and only because the game plan to get Tom Brady off his game is to get pressure and to get him to move. We know he's kind of a statue in the backfield, and he's not looking to move a whole lot. So if you can get him off his mark, you'll probably have success. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I think I know why. It's because I had terrible sleep last night because of my sciatic nerve being pinched. I can feel it when I'm sitting here and I move a certain way. I was just struggling to find a comfy spot because I'd move and it would pinch and it would just keep me awake. And
That
so
sucks.
yeah. You're trying to get comfy and you shift a little bit and you're just like, oh, I'm awake again. But back to what I was saying about the Chiefs and Spagnola. Oh my gosh. The Chiefs and Spagnola, they just didn't get enough pressure to me on Tom Brady and them. Now, I can give a ton of credit to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line, but I just feel like there could have been better game plans from both the offensive side and defensive side of the coaching staff of the Chiefs. So I can't lay blame all at Mahomes. It's just, to me, you had an opportunity. You should have made your adjustments. Did you? No. And that's what came back to bite you. And sure, I mean, Tampa Bay might have been the better team out of the two. You look back at it throughout the season, Tampa Bay lost 3 consecutive games, and that third consecutive game they lost to was to the Chiefs. They said it last night. After they lost to the Chiefs, they didn't lose a single game. They went on like almost an 8-9 game win streak. So, congratulations though to Tampa Bay, but Kansas City, you almost fell into a one-trick pony. And when that trick stopped impressing people, or in this case, stopped working, what good were you? It just didn't happen.
2 picks from Mahomes.
Yeah.
107 rushing yards, 9 carries for the lead running back.
That's it. 9 carries. That's it. That's ridiculous. How many times did they hand the ball off between Fournette and Ronald Jones for Tampa Bay?
28.
Exactly. Combined. So
they had 28 rushes, 150 yards exactly. Edwards-Helaire had 9 rushes. He was averaging 7 yards a carry.
the best, I said while
9
you were
rushes,
down,
64 yards.
I said while you were down the hallway, I said the best offensive play it looked like for the Chiefs was when they came out of halftime and he bursted out that long 20, 30-yard run.
There's one thing about Andy Reid's teams. He will not commit to the run. He won't. Donovan McNabb sit there and lost all those championship games, sitting there throwing slant, 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 slant.
Well, now they don't even run slants. They just run deep routes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Andy Reid coaches like he's playing Madden. So they lose the Super Bowl. I just looking at, trying to some of the stats. Gronk led the Bucks with receiving of 6 catches, 67 yards. Kelsey 10 catches, 133 yards. Just one thing that we didn't really get into, or nobody really did. Everybody spent so much time talking about the historic quarterback matchup. Mm-hmm. This could possibly be a historic tight end matchup. Because Gronk's probably the best ever. Not saying Kelsey is, but he's got a chance to put some big numbers up with Tony Gonzalez and Jason Witten and get to that point. Gronk is ridiculous, but that's a big matchup. And then of course Devin White with the game, just huge game on defense. We talked about why MVP. Probably he could have been. Here's the early power rankings from your favorite network. Kansas City 1, Buffalo 2, Green Bay 3,
Tampa Bay 4. They just won the Super Bowl.
How are they 4th?
They're all coming
and
back.
They're 4th. Yeah.
4th.
If anything, they should, to me, definitely be in front of Buffalo, and I hate to say that because I do love Josh Allen, and I think they got a real chance with what they're building up there, and Green Bay. If you want to put Kansas City at 1 in front of them because you think a fully healthy Kansas City is better than Tampa Bay, I understand. But for them to be anywhere below 1 and 2, yikes.
All right, Tanner, give me some love over here. Give my computer up. Cleveland is at 7. Hunter? 5 points away from knocking the Chiefs off to begin with. 2 rounds ago. This is off season in 3 or 4 fewer words. Keep it going. After years of futility, the Browns finally had a breakout season. To reach the Super Bowl for the first time in franchise history, the key will be building on last off-season success. I think the Browns' biggest things is improving the defense. If they use all 7 picks on defenders this
Carolina
year.
style.
I
Panther
don't.
style.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. Maybe spend one, even a first rounder on an offensive lineman, and then the rest defenders. But I would bolster the defense in that fashion. The Browns, just like any of these other teams, Hunter, you're not going to win the Super Bowl without a top 12 defense. And they're
Right.
sitting at 20-something last year, and that's not going to get it done. As good as the offense can be, and that's what everybody will talk about. We don't need running backs. We don't need tight ends.
Don't need wide receivers.
Depending on what you're going to do with Odell. If you're going to keep him, I think no matter what you do with Odell, you're going to fix the wide receivers part because you can keep him, or you just trade him and draft somebody, or
Right.
trade him for somebody.
Or just get a free agent.
Right. So I think offense they're fine except the line and then defense. I think they got a good team. I like them. Seahawks 8, San Francisco 9. We don't know who'll be their quarterback. Titans 10, Steelers 11, Miami 12. That might be Tua. Got New Orleans down at 13. I guess they're considering saying without Breeze. Arizona 14, Indianapolis 15. Don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Vegas 17. Cowboys down at 19. How about the Patriots at 20 and your football team at 21? Tanner suggested that's what I should call you
Football team.
since I get y'all mixed up.
Call me football team.
Right.
No. No. You can't just call me football
Right.
team.
Football, how about football team fan? You're the FTF.
Just call me Hunter.
Football fan Hunter. I can't call you Hunter. I call everybody Hunter, obviously.
Yeah,
I can't
obviously.
call him Tanner.
I'm just gonna get a name tag.
Well, look at that. I'm 21st and Tanner's 22nd.
Yeah, Falcons at 22. They said they're keeping Matt and Julio.
Yeah, I think the front office even came out and said that. Like they have
Yeah.
no plans.
We only have $100 million invested in these
Both
two.
of them, and one of them's about to be, if I'm not mistaken, I think Matt Ryan is like a $40 million cap hit.
41.7.
Yeah, geez, good lord, look at that.
Now we gotta
Local
see who
team
they're
is
gonna
23.
get.
So it says Washington.
We're a quarterback
Who
away.
the hell's playing quarterback for you?
Yeah.
Same with New England.
Don't know names.
The Falcons are who the hell's playing defense for you.
Yeah,
The Panthers.
We have no defense. What is defense?
The Panthers are looking for quarterbacks. They've been rumored
Did
at
you-
Stafford. They've been rumored at Carson Wentz. They've
Yeah.
been rumored at Deshaun Watson. They've been rumored at everything but Teddy Bridgewater, it seems, Hunter.
They want just.
yeah. There is no rumor for Teddy Bridgewater. If anything, Teddy's just sitting back and watching this, and already has his bags packed because he knows they're trying to ship him off this year.
What's the Patriots' record this year if Bridgewater was the quarterback
I think it's better.
instead of Cam?
Well,
Were
they
9
had a
and
top.
They
They
were
had a top,
7 and 9.
They had a top 10 defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could be 9 and 7. Just flip flop them. I think they could win flip flop 2 losses for 2 wins.
So after Brady watches Belichick watches what he watches last night, does he do everything in his power to get a good quarterback in the house now, or what's his plans? Now, here's the stat I want to give you on Belichick. I tweeted out last night. He has coached in the NFL 7 seasons without Tom Brady as the quarterback.
They only had 1 playoff win in that time.
One playoff appearance and
Playoff
one playoff win
Yeah.
in that time. 1994. And the team he beat, Tanner? The New England Patriots.
As a coach of the
Belichick's
Cleveland Browns.
only playoff win without Tom Brady is against the New England Patriots. With Drew bled so much he had to have a transfusion, was the quarterback. So
You don't get it.
No. No.
that's his nickname.
His name is Drew Bledsoe. But Drew bled so much he had to have a transfusion.
Oh.
There,
Now
it's
Oh,
I get
okay.
it.
Now you
Yeah.
get it. Yeah. It's one of those things.
I was
These are
like-
90s dad jokes, Tanner. Keep up. That was Chris Berman's nickname for him on ESPN. Is Drew bled so much he had to have a transfusion.
The Chicago Bears at 24th, but they're in the same boat as everybody else. Everybody right there outside of, well, even Carolina is considered it's quarterback.
All right. So
They got the defense. It's just the quarterback.
So Belichick, Tanner, let me finish that, is in 7 years without Brady has 1 playoff win, and it's against the Patriots. In 18 years with Brady, he made the playoffs 17 times, and the one year he didn't, he was 9 and 7, and he has 6 championships. Now, is it Brady or is it Belichick?
We're about
Brady.
Brady leaves,
Brady wins the
joins
Super
the
Bowl.
team. I think about, and again about, hey, we're building our team, we're building our organization, we're for the future. Here's the future, and the Bucks are like, they go Miami Marlins style, like All right, y'all
whatever.
keep planning for the future. We'll go ahead
play
and win
now.
this one.
We'll play to win now.
I like the teams that play to win now, Hunter. This future stuff.
Oh,
Dallas
I'm fine.
is-
I'm the same way. I like for you to try and play now, but if you're nowhere close, I don't want you to. I don't want to see you give up the house for it.
but for you guys, like if you're Ron Rivera, why do you care what the 2025 Redskins do?
Oh, I don't. I don't. If I'm Washington, I'm pushing for Carson Wentz.
You like that?
We've already done a deal with Philadelphia in the past for Donovan McNabb. I would push for Carson Wentz. I would go all in for Deshaun Watson because look at it. We are the exact makeup of what a Super Bowl team needs to be outside of the quarterback. Seriously.
Why don't y'all get Trubisky? He's got a better record than
Deshaun Watson. I don't think it'll work, but
Drafted in the same draft. They have the
Second.
same record.
second overall.
Speaking of that, how about I watched a little documentary on Dan Marino the other day. It was called, it's shitty how they do them. The series is called Untitled. And so they go,
It's because he doesn't have a title.
right. So they find people that hadn't won a title and basically talk why they didn't.
Right.
So that's, anyway, he was in his draft was no, who was number one? He went third. No, he went fifth, I think, in the draft. Fifth quarterback in that draft, Hunter. Let me pull it up because I want to be accurate because it's pretty interesting. NFL draft. Okay, there. Elway was one. All right.
Yeah.
Listen to this. Listen to this draft.
Okay.
Shit. Pulling up. Elway 1. Eric Dickerson 2.
Oof.
Pretty good start, right?
Really good start.
How about number 3? You've heard this name before. Kurt Warner.
Damn, I think that's a pretty good one.
Not the same Kurt Warner.
Damn.
He wasn't picked 3rd overall.
Well, he was with Green Bay, though, before he got cut and went and did arena football.
So he was a running back from Penn State. All right.
Could have fooled everybody. Not just me.
So Todd Blackledge went 3rd quarterback.
Okay.
He was picked 7th overall by the Kansas City Chiefs. In his career, he had 5,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 38 interceptions. The 4th quarterback that year, ready? One, two. No, Blackledge was 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
The 3rd quarterback that year picked 14th, Jim Kelly.
I think that's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah. Tony Eason was 4th quarterback that year. I know you don't know who that is.
No, I don't.
But he was the quarterback of the New England Patriots that played against the Bears
Okay.
in the Super Bowl and got stomped.
Mm.
They beat Dan Marino's Dolphins to get to that
get
Super
there.
Bowl. Dan Marino's Dolphins that year were the only team to beat the Bears
In the
that
regular
year
season.
in the regular season, and they didn't get a chance for a rematch.
That could have been his ring.
in the Super Bowl, right? So there's 4 quarterbacks, and that leaves you all the way down, Aaron Rodgers style, Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Marino picked 27th,
The 5th quarterback.
5th quarterback in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Marino picked 27th. Do you know who was 28th?
Is it a quarterback?
Nope.
I do not.
He's a Hall of Famer.
What?
Darryl Green.
Oh.
The last pick of the first round. Yeah, because y'all won the Super Bowl in
Yeah.
82 with the MVP kicker,
Yeah.
Mark Mosley. And so y'all got Darryl Green with the last pick, one spot behind Dan Marino. You could have had Marino for those Super Bowls instead of worrying about Doug Williams and Mark Ripien. And Theismann.
They won him,
They
though.
won. You're right.
They won him, though.
They won him. So real quick on that. Okay, so Marino goes 5th. No, I missed one. He went 6th. Ken O'Brien went before him, 3 spots in front of him. So Marino was
They
the
had 6
sixth-
quarterbacks in the first round.
Yeah, and he was last. So that's Aaron Rodgers.
And
That's your
he's-
guy's Aaron Rodgers.
And he's probably the most iconic outside of Elway in that draft.
But if you think about it though, Hunter, he may have had the 4th or 3rd or 4th best career out of the draft, though.
Well, Jim Kelly made 3 Super Bowls. 4.
And he beat Marino to get to those Super Bowls.
And Elway.
At least 2, maybe. I think at least 2. It might have been 3 of the
Elway
times.
has the Super Bowls.
Elway went to 3 Super Bowls past Dan Marino. So both of them combined made 7 Super Bowls with Marino in the conference.
Yeah.
So now added together, they went 1-6 in those Super Bowls.
Yes.
And Marino was 0-1 in his. Think about it, Hunter. After Marino's second year, he throws for 48 touchdowns, and he made the Super Bowl
and lost.
and never made it back again.
Never made it back.
Think about the bets the folks would have made. Like, what about the last 10 years? Everybody's been betting on Aaron Rodgers.
That's what everybody was saying, why Patrick Mahomes' longevity, like it's projecting to be a damn good career because he did what Marino did, he finished the race. He made it his second year, had 50 touchdowns, and finished the race with a Super Bowl victory.
How about first year, playoffs, second year Super Bowl, third year you lose to Tom Brady?
Think about it.
No, wait a minute. That was Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
And Pat Mahomes.
That is true. Russell Wilson did.
Wilson hasn't been back since.
Russell Wilson.
Has he? Is he 1-1?
And where Patrick Mahomes, no, he hasn't been back.
He's 1-1 in the
He's
Super Bowl.
1-1. Yes, he is.
Mahomes is
Think
1-1.
about it.
Exact
Think about
same-
it. Mahomes beat Jimmy Garoppolo. Russell Wilson beat Peyton Manning.
I think what all this all means is that Baker Mayfield's about to win 7 of the next 20 Super Bowls.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
That's
right.
what I get. That's what I get from it.
Gotcha. No. That means any quarterback that's drafted in the 6th round and somehow becomes a starter is going to be the guy that goes on to win the Super Bowl.
So
rings.
Elway was 2-3 in Super Bowls. Like I said, and he made 3. Well, hell, no. Marino was there till 2000. So Elway made all of his Super Bowls with Marino in the conference. So Elway and Kelly made 9 of the basically 20 Super Bowls that Marino was 17 Super Bowls. So they made half the Super Bowls in that same draft, and he only made 1. I love Dan Marino. Dude can sling it. But damn, they didn't get the wins.
No.
But I bet Kansas City picked Todd Blackledge. I bet they regret that. New England picked Tony Eason. He made a Super Bowl. He lost just as many Super Bowls as Marino did, and he beat Marino to get to one. So how do you do that? and then you've got the Eli Manning effect too.
It's
with his
crazy how hard it is just to get there. Like we look at basketball and the main superstar, and think about it. We look at basketball, and usually if you have one of the top 3 or 4 players in the league, you're more than likely, and especially if you have 2 of them, you're almost guaranteed to get to the finals.
Right.
Almost guaranteed. But in football, that's just not the case. Even the best, because I think I heard Colin talking about it the other day. He said if you think about it in the NFL, sometimes the best team doesn't always make it to the Super Bowl. A lot of the times, the best team or the second best team in the NBA make the Super Bowl. He said, in the NFL, it doesn't work that way. Because think about it. If he put it this way. He said to him, he thought the best roster in the NFL was the Saints,
Yeah.
and they got beat by the Tampa Bay. And maybe the second best team, roster wise, was the Rams, and they got beat by Green Bay. So the best teams don't always make it. It's strange, and that just goes to show you, like you said, Marino. He made it his second year in the NFL, and never again. And he didn't have bad Dolphin teams. No, he wasn't a part of the early 2000s until last year Dolphins that we have known.
How about by my count, Hunter?
Yeah,
Another quarterback was not drafted in that draft until the 6th round.
really. So they took 6
in the first round,
and then 7 in total, and it wasn't until the 6th round.
Nothing until the 6th round.
Dang. They must have loved everything they saw about those quarterbacks.
That's one of those years where whoever was picking in the 20s and stuff was banging out draft picks because everybody else picked quarterbacks.
We got Darryl Green
in the first round at 28.
Jeez.
That's true. You got Darryl Green. I was trying to see if there's any other Hall of Famers after that. It doesn't look like it. It looked like the draft. Oh, Richard Dent went in the 8th round, Hall of Fame.
Dang, 8th round.
Richard made the Hall of Fame in the 8th round.
We only have 7 now.
Right.
Crazy.
I thought you'd like the Marino and the Belichick stats of the day and kind of talking about some of
Well,
that.
from that list, it's time. Everybody does it the day after the Super Bowl. You're way too early. Super Bowl prediction. You're way too early Super Bowl prediction. Do you think Tom gets back next year?
No, it's going to be Browns and who did I tell you yesterday? Seahawks.
So you think the Browns and the Seahawks get there next year?
No, I'm going to take that back. You know who I want it to be?
Who?
Browns and Vikings. And I don't, the only reason why?
Why?
That'd be pretty cool color schemes to watch on
Brown and orange and
all
purple
that
and yellow.
Orange and purple. It's just I'm tired of the red, white, and blues.
That is all
Everything's
we've
red.
had.
Red, navy blue.
I was
white.
looking on social media yesterday actually, after the game, and somebody said, they were like, it should be a rule that the teams in the Super Bowl have different color schemes. I said it's too similar.
All right. I didn't like they wouldn't let them shoot the cannons for both teams. I don't see a reason why not. They were going to shoot them for both teams anyway. Was
Whoever
the plan.
won.
And then the Bucks
Yeah.
made it, and then they changed it and said,
Wait.
like, were they not going to shoot them during the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Why was that even a decision? Like, to me, it was like, let's say you're not going to shoot them.
Right.
Well, then there's no announcement to be made.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are going to shoot them, why would you just shoot them for the Bucks and not both teams?
So you're hoping it's the Vikings and Browns.
I'm just saying for color wise.
For color wise. So you're really going to stick with Brown Seahawks.
Probably will be right now. That's where I'm leaning on the pick. Honestly, Hunter, it may be. I was going to pick Bucks this year. I was going to wait a year and then pick Bucks this year. I think it's very extremely hard to just jump on a team. It never works. What they did.
No. Because
In
think
all
about
sports.
it. Even in
Almost in all
the
sports, it never
NBA,
works.
you got guys that get together in their first year. It doesn't always work that way.
The Heat
The
didn't win it in their
Eagles.
first.
LA, the Clippers, not the Lakers. The Clippers didn't win it their first
What
year.
about the Lakers when they had Karl Malone and Gary Payton?
It doesn't always work that way.
Houston added Scottie Pippen and Barkley and didn't even make the finals.
Houston, even with James Harden, when they thought they were going to make the run with adding Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have to look and see how it works with the Nets this year, with Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and James Harden. Like you said, it doesn't always work. So guess what? Damn, Tom, you just checked off another history mark.
And then injuries.
Oh, I
Like
know.
they didn't really have none of the
None.
big guys are hurt.
Injuries play a huge X factor in you even making it
Right.
to the Super Bowl. And it just so happened that the Chiefs' injuries happened a game before
Right.
the Super Bowl. Like, think about it. I believe deep down, and I know Andre don't want to hear it, but I believe deep down if we have a healthy Chiefs team, we might be having a different discussion today. I'm not necessarily going to just stamp of approval. I think the Chiefs would have won, but if the Bucks would have won, it would not have been a substantial of a margin that it was.
Just think about Brady. He got beat twice by Eli Manning. He got beat by Nick Foles.
Mm-hmm.
He only scored 13 on the Rams, and then he blows out the Chiefs.
And actually, first game ever throwing a touchdown in the first quarter.
Before the
In a
last
Super Bowl.
Before the last Super Bowl that he played in, the closest game he was in was the overtime game.
I think I heard it was like
And then they won
first
13-3.
game in all of his Super Bowls prior to this. He won by a combined margin of 22 in all of them. Combined. Like, that was the margin.
Yeah, it
added
was
up.
low.
And then this one, he won by like 26.
31-9, 22, exactly.
22.
He just retire already.
He won't, what is he right now? 43? I think we
He
have
said
two-
he's gonna play till he's 45. That's what he said.
If he's feeling good, guess what?
Said he might even play past it.
He might.
He might
I'm
play
not-
till he's 50.
I'm not going to put anything past him because he's so committed to winning. He's one of the guys that'll look at you and say, I'll take a pay cut. I'll just take a pay cut.
I know he's
I'll just
happy in
take a
Tampa.
pay
It'd be
cut.
fun. It'd kind of be fun to watch him jump around to different teams.
Now, he only
He
did...
goes
I don't
and plays
think
for
he will.
every.
Yeah.
He did only sign a 2-year contract
Right.
when he was there. So after this coming season will be his technical last season on that contract. So if he wanted to just jump around and go different places, he could.
I bet next year he resigns for 2 years, $30 million.
Takes his money. Said,
No,
this is
he's
it. I'm
gonna
going to take my
just
money.
Sitting there in $15 million a year. I'm like, spend it on whatever you want.
Mm.
let's go win a couple more. They got a chance. And it's all about the defense. If they like the defense salesman, nobody's talking about it, but the defense salesman.
People don't realize it was the craziest stat. Tom Brady has more Super Bowls by himself than all of the 32 organizations. Like, think about it. The Steelers were at the most at 6, and they were tied with the Patriots. Tom Brady has 7.
What?
And those 6 Super Bowls for the Patriots were thanks to him.
It's just what's weird about it is that he's not dominating. It's not, and in football you can't just dominate like that. Like you would say what Mahomes' offenses did was dominating.
Yes.
The best offense he ever had didn't win the Super Bowl. 2 best wide receivers he's had didn't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's
Randy
lost
and Wes.
to Eli twice and Nick Foles. Like, none of it makes sense. Everything you say about his career doesn't make sense. Like,
6th round draft pick goes
Right.
on to win 7 Super Bowls.
at no point do I look at him
And it's
him,
not as a journeyman, it's as a starting quarterback.
right. At no point do I look at him physically and say that's something we'll never see again.
I feel like we see it every year.
Right. Like there's better athletes than Tom Brady.
The only difference is he takes care of his body.
What he does and what he has shown the quarterback position to be is the mental preparation for what's going to happen is almost way more important than anything as far as your legs go.
Him and Peyton, that they really showed that.
Right.
Because nobody was saying Peyton Manning was beating me in the 40-yard dash.
Right. So most times, you got what, 3 to 4 seconds tops to throw the ball, three-step drop. So what you've got to do before you even get there, Hunter, you can't go old school and just be like, hike that sumbitch, I'm gonna find somebody open. And that's what it seems like a lot of players kind of do. Cam, is that, and
Those are your gunslingers.
so you get a line of scrimmage, and basically they simplified football. You recognize the defense, so you see if they're in a cover 2. Well, what play did we call? Well, I've got this play, this pass, and this pass. That's who I'm going to, and that's what you're doing. So before the play even starts, and that's why they wait all the way up to 34 seconds, so they know exactly what they're going to do. They get the ball, they're thinking, I'm looking at this guy, and this guy, and then they've done such a good job with it. And what he does is move the chains. I'll say this: he moves the chains well, outstanding. He throws the ball. There's nothing bad about anything he does. It's almost like he's the Emmitt Smith of quarterbacks.
He might
to
not be
where-
a 10 everywhere, but he's a
right,
damn
to where
9
all
at
the-
everything.
Right, to where all the stats and all the numbers are his, championships, everything. But there's just something you're like, I don't know if he's the best, but by God, he sure as hell did it. And it's almost like Jerry Rice was like that too. A lot of people, like his numbers and everything, like you threw the ball. Jerry Rice to me was kind of like Tyreek Hill, where you throw it to him when he was open. Like you didn't throw it to Rice
If he had someone
covered.
draped on him.
Like he wasn't Randy Moss and people. He wasn't Calvin Johnson. You know,
He was running past people.
out physical him. Right. He was running past him / the route running. Jerry's route running may have been the best thing. Like he's going to run it precise, and that's one thing as a quarterback. More than anything, almost as long as you have to know. I used to tell the guys like one of the worst things in intramural flag football is people just running out there and not knowing where they're going. Because they don't, especially guys who've never played football. So you'll get a guy out there and he'll run into the zone where another receiver's at. Well, what does that do? That brings your guy over here. So you can throw a pick looking at one guy, thinking your backside guys. So if your backside guys are supposed to run a post, right? And instead he runs a slant, and I roll that way, and I'm throwing that curl route. Well, you just brought your guy into the curl route zone. Yeah. And a lot of guys don't get that, and Brady and them do such a fantastic job. And that's what, that's what I'm saying about Jerry Rice is that he'd run the right route every time, and it's so important.
This is also going to come down to, it's the same thing I keep saying about why LeBron's getting all these stats and he's moving his way up on the leaderboards. It comes down to after a while, it's a longevity thing.
That's true. That's true too.
Yeah,
Frank Gore's third rushing.
Right. And you would have never thought Frank Gore's best running back in the league at all. But it's because they're playing for 20-something years. Like Tom Brady, think about it, 21 years in the NFL.
You wouldn't list Frank Gore in top 10 all the time.
Mm-mm.
Same thing with Jerome Bettis. He's in yardage wise. Curtis Martin. But you're not.
But they just played
You're
so
not
long.
saying those guys.
And when you look at them saying, well, they're going to have all the numbers at the end of the day, I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure somebody else would if they played the 20 to 22 years. But yeah, they usually don't.
I would be happy if we all just, as a country, and all came together. Here's our chance to come together and agree on something. It's going to be hard as fuck for someone to have a better resume than Tom Brady. Can we not talk about it for the next 10 years?
Right.
For
100%.
real.
Because they're going to do the same stuff with LeBron. And you're a LeBron fan. In 10 years, Tanner, you come back here and call me in 10 years, I'll bet you the $100 that they're going to be talking about how Zion's better than him.
No.
They will be.
They're already talking about how he's averaging almost the most points per minute. Like,
This is what they do. What's LeBron's size? 6'9", 250. They're going to say, well, Zion dunks better. Well, Zion's 20 pounds heavier. Zion gets more rebounds.
there's more highlights.
Man, if Zion had more help, Tanner, he's probably better than LeBron. He don't have help. That's what it is. That's where they're going to go. I'm just telling you. It happens to every generation.
He will never be better than LeBron.
They were talking about as soon as these guys put Mahomes on the board with these guys just 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And now?
Well,
Are we?
I mean, he is only in his fourth year, so we might by the end of it. But as today, no. Not today.
He's in young Elway land right
Yes. He's got opportunity. He's got a lot of
Right.
time in front of him. Think about it. If he even played 21 seasons.
now. What if him and Russell Wilson never win another one? Never get to another one like Brady and Breeze did?
You mean like Rodgers and Breeze?
Yeah.
Brady got to a lot.
Yeah. Rodgers and Breeze, what if these two never get back to another one like those two did?
Then that's just a waste of talent.
Where you like that's what I'm saying, like where are you putting them then? Like
It's tough. You'd almost have to make your own little Mount Rushmore for just them. Made one and never made it back.
the one Super Bowl club.
One Super Bowl club. That's it.
That's
tough though, because look, like
we got Marino and Breeze on our top 9 and they didn't win one. I mean Breeze won one and
Marino doesn't have any. Out of everybody
Right.
on that list, Marino's the only one that has none.
and we still put him up there. And we put him ahead of one guy that went to 4
Jim Kelly. Didn't
in
win
his
any.
own draft.
Didn't win any, but
The thing about Kelly is a lot of people will say this, Hunter, if you switched them, like teams, the Bills, his team was outstanding. Like I can name right now probably 5 to 10 people who I have a voice idea of getting in the Hall of Fame from those teams. Miami, I can probably only name about 5 or 6 of his teammates in his 20 years. And I like the Dolphins. That was my I'm gonna pull for them when Dallas does bad. Jimmy Johnson even went to the Dolphins. I actually thought, and they called Aitman. They tried to get Aitman out of retirement. He didn't do it. I don't know, man. All right. Finishing up here today. I know Hunter's wanting to try to get out of here a little early today.
I got to get this thing fixed.
Anything else come across the lines besides Super Bowl stuff
I'm just
this
looking.
weekend?
I'm looking at not seeing anything. Obviously, it's just as big football fans, it sucks. We're done now for a couple months.
Yeah, we can just quit the show for the next 3 months. We ain't got nothing to do.
I mean,
Go to sleep.
really?
We're gonna have a lot of top 5 lists, top 10.
We'll
Mount
be like
Rushmore.
JP just falling asleep.
Oh my god! Jesus, throw him under the bus like that.
I know, right?
Jeez. You think JP said who? What's your name again?
I know.
God. That's.
All right,
Hey,
That's
I had to come back.
Now, I will say
I had
this.
to come
now,
back.
I will say this though. That's almost a petty move where you look at someone and you're like, "What's your name?" Who almost being like, "Who are you?"
James Borrego.
Yeah, yeah.
You got Borrego.
You got Borrego by JP.
JP.
Jeez, man.
All right, Hunter. Looking at the NBA power rankings.
Yeah.
This is how stupid the NBA is. Did you see the
Yeah.
Lakers yesterday?
Wasn't it against the Pistons?
Double overtime.
Yeah.
They lost to them earlier this year. Double overtime. But we're going to sit here and break down another matchup like Lakers and Spurs or whatever. It's just wow. That's wildly silly, man. That's wildly. Andre was here today. I meant to ask him about come down here and talk to y'all about Allen Iverson a little bit. I wanted him to tell y'all a little bit about that. So you done with Super Bowl?
Yeah.
For now, I know Zach will have some. Wednesday.
And see, I know we'll talk about it more on Wednesday. So for what I'm
Okay.
talking about today, yeah, I'm good with it.
Let's see. I'm trying to. I got some What did Brady say to Matthew that pissed him off?
I don't know, but apparently Brady called him after the game and apologized.
12th players in NBA history, back-to-back 50-point games. Think you can name? Oh, that's a lot. I'm just going to give them to you.
Yeah.
Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, Rick Barry, Bernard King, Michael Jordan, Anton Jameson,
Ooh.
Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, Devin Booker, James Harden, and now Bradley Beal with back-to-back 50-point games. All right, how about this is a cool graphic, Hunter. I'll text it to you or whatever. This is leading scorers by zone in the NBA. So let's pretend we're looking at the basket.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to break them down for you. This is the most field goals per spot on this spot in NBA. Top of the key. Anybody got a guess? Top of the key three-pointer.
Ray.
Nikola Vucevic.
Never.
You
Would've
never guessed that
guessed
one, would you?
Never.
He's got
Wait,
some-
is this today's players
Yeah.
or? Oh, what the? I thought it was-
This season.
I thought it was all time. That's
No.
why I said
You said
Ray.
Ray. Was you talking
I
Ray
was
Allen?
about Ray Allen.
No, this
Oh,
season,
okay.
most field goals per spot on the floor.
Okay, yeah, I'd had no idea. Vucevic
Top
was
of the
that.
key is Vucevic.
Okay.
Both wing threes is the same person.
Is it Bradley Beal?
No.
Is it James Harden?
No.
Is it Steph Curry?
There you go.
Okay.
I was about to say, this guy's pretty obvious. All right. You want to go to corner three? I want to go to corner threes last just to make y'all pull your hair out. All right. Free throw line. Chris Paul. Right elbow. Chris Paul.
He does like that right elbow pull-up jump shot.
Left elbow. LaMarcus Aldridge.
Ugh.
Left baseline. Joel Embiid.
I could see him having all of these.
Right baseline. The Durantula.
Okay.
At the goal / dunking or layups.
Giannis.
Nope.
Is it LeBron?
It's very obvious too. Those are two obvious choices. There's another obvious choice one too. He gets almost all of his points at the bucket. Zion Williamson.
Oh, okay.
So Zion is at the bucket. Now corner threes. On one corner, Bojan Bogdanovic. Not that bad. You know who's leading the NBA in the left corner threes?
You mean making them or just shooting
Making them.
Making
Who's
them.
made the most left corner threes in the NBA this year? If you're a Charlotte Hornets fan, you need to cut somebody over this one. I mean, with a big knife.
Is it Batum?
Yes. Nicholas Batum, who averaged grand total of 3 fucking points last year, is leading the NBA with most threes in the corner this year.
The left corner.
Yep, left corner, Nick Batum.
He's with the Clippers, too.
And you know how LA Twitter is just nuts? They love Nick Batum.
Why?
It drives me crazy.
That-
They love Nick Batum.
It's so funny. They love Nick Batum, and anybody that claims the Charlotte Hornets hated him because he was such a waste of cap.
$26 million, and he
To
got
sit on the
3
bench.
points a game.
Sit on the bench for most
Fuck
of it.
him. That's all I can say about that is fuck him, Hunter.
He did that because he didn't want to play for the Hornets.
20. All right. NBA scoring. We did it. Kind of talked about this the other day. I looked it up for you. The most seasons 30 average 30 points a game. Okay. Jordan's 1 with 8. Wilt is 2nd with 7. Oscar Robertson is 3rd with 6. With 4, Jerry West and Allen Iverson. So the top 5 leading scorers, just according to that, Jordan, no, that's 4. Yeah, 5. Jordan, Wilt, Oscar, Iverson, Jerry West.
Nice.
Next up, the all-time leading scorer. Only did it 3 times, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kobe did it 3 times. Tanner's favorite player, Adrian Dantley, did it 3 times. You know who Adrian Dantley is?
No.
I didn't think so. Hunter's favorite player, Bob McAdoo, did it 3 times. You know who that is?
No.
Who the frick?
Bob McAdoo?
Wait a minute. Never mind. I know who Bob McAdoo.
Bob
is.
McAdoo, but Bob McAdoo.
Bob McAdoo. That's God, wait, no. That isn't McAdoo's uncle, is it?
Yeah.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
He led the NBA in
It's
scoring a
true,
bunch of times.
Yeah.
You know he went to college, don't you?
North Carolina.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because his
Okay,
nephew
now I
went to
know who
North
you're
Carolina.
talking about.
Bob McAdoo,
Yeah.
James McAdoo, James Michael McAdoo's uncle.
Yeah.
Dominique did it twice. These are everybody that's done it twice. Okay, Dominique, LeBron, Rick Barry, Elgin Baylor, Kevin Durant, and George Gervin. So you can take LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Kobe Bryant added together, and they still didn't score the same number of 30-point seasons as Michael Jordan.
Because Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
I know that.
That's why.
Kareem only did it 3 times. How about Wilt? Wilt did it 7 times. That's a lot. One year was 50 points a game.
Oh, God.
All right. Those are my fun, interesting stats of the day. You got anything else?
Not off the top
Tanner,
of
did you have
my
anything
head.
you want to talk about when you came in? Are you liking your Michael Jackson experience so far?
I guess.
I guess.
I guess.
I will tell you something. You might think it's funny. I'll see what you guys think. I had a roommate in college, and there was 2 days that he would want me to come pick him up, even though he could just walk his happy ass home. But I'd go pick him up because I had time, so I was nice. But my stipulations were I get to play whatever I want, and I had a system in my car, and I had tinted windows, so you couldn't see me, right? So the building I picked him up in had kind of like a big courtyard and a circle. You come in a circle and parked and waited on the kids to come out.
Yeah.
So I would bang Michael Jackson. When I picked him up, system turned crunk up. I'm talking.
Yeah.
The building's windows are rattling, and I'm banging some Black and White or Beat It or something. he has to walk out that door and walk all the way to my car while everybody sees him. I'm telling you, everybody heard me. Just beat it. I'm put my sunglasses on, Hunter. Start just jamming your head like the night at the Roxbury.
Right. Just enjoying yourself.
He was very embarrassed.
Just enjoy
He hated
yourself.
it, but he never told me not to come pick him up though.
Because low-key, he enjoyed it too. He just never admitted
I
it.
tell you what, something dirty he would do. I don't know if you've ever done this with your friends.
Oh, God.
So like he.
I don't know if I want to hear
Yeah,
it.
I walked in. Let me slip something in.
Yeah, we'll slip something in here.
Let me slide.
Excuse me, let me slide
something in.
something in here.
So if he's driving and you're in the passenger seat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say you see a good-looking girl walking down the street, he will stop the car and roll your window down and start hollering at her, saying that you like her.
Oh, that would burn me up.
You ever did that one?
Uh-uh.
Oh God! Like and it didn't even have to be hot girls. It would just be anybody.
Right.
He would just be in his car. If you were in the passenger seat, somebody walking down the street, he'd pull over and roll it down. Hey, he thinks you're cute. What's your name? You just sit there like,
Shit.
all right, you want to play us away, Tanner? Play us away. Better make sure it's on the. I didn't mute it too. I think I did. Yeah, I did. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, season 2, episode 10 is over. Thank you for Tanner Halbert. Tanner, we've got to measure some stuff for this show, right?
Yeah.
Measurables. The keyword today is measurables. I want to thank everybody for watching. We'll be back Wednesday on KDC Rockcasting.com.
How do you make that measurable?